The Nanomedicine Innovation Network, or NMIN, is a national network of centers of excellence established in 2019 with an $18.5 million federal grant plus matching partner support. This network is led by Scientific Director Dr. Pieter Cullis at UBC and Associate Scientific Director Dr. Gilbert Walker at the University of Toronto. The Networks of Centers of Excellence program aims to optimize Canadian scientific and technological leadership through the creation of national networks of expertise, technology, and talent that cross disciplines and sectors to generate social and economic benefits for Canadians. NMIN's specific aims are to establish a national R&D network with participants drawn from across sectors whose collective research, capacity building, and commercialization efforts strengthen Canada's position as a global leader in developing next-generation nanomedicines, new Canadian companies, and new jobs in the knowledge economy. Next slide. To realize these aims, NMIN invests in research in 3 priority areas: targeted drug delivery, led by Marcel Bally and Star Lee at UBC, gene therapy, led by Pieter Cullis and Christian Kastrup at UBC, and diagnostics, led by Shana Kelly and Gilbert Walker at the University of Toronto. In addition, 78% of NMIN's projects are supported by its core facilities teams, the Nanomedicines Formulation and Characterization Facility, or NanoCore, and the Pharmacology, Toxicology, and Scale Production Facility, or PharmaCore. NMIN also invests in support of translation and commercialization of research results into new therapeutic and clinical approaches, new policies, and new Canadian companies. These research, translation, and commercialization efforts, next slide, are buttressed by support from 7 Canadian universities situated in 5 provinces and from 73 partners, of which 50% are in industry, spanning 6 sectors in 7 countries. Finally, NMIN's 49 investigators work on 30 funded projects alongside 97 trainees, of which 2/3 are completing postdoctoral fellowships or PhD level programs. Notable is that 58% of NMIN's trainees are women and 63% are Canadian, positioning NMIN to strategically contribute to the development of the next generation of nanomedicine leaders in this field. It's now my pleasure to turn the balance of this presentation over to NMIN's Scientific Director, Dr. Pieter Cullis.
Well, thanks, Diana. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. This is just to summarize what our major themes are within the Nanomedicines Network. Some of these have been reflected in the talks today. Targeted drug delivery, for example. We now have currently a ridiculous situation where less than 0.01% of a cancer drug, actually gets to the tumor. We need to improve that rather dramatically. Gene therapy, we need to enable larger molecules to be used therapeutically, particularly nucleic acid-based drugs for gene therapies. And finally, in the area of diagnostics, we need to be able to have point-of-care devices that that really do enable us to detect disease very precisely, and also early in the stage of that disease, both in terms of initial incidence and recurrence. And so we're really aiming to extend our global lead, which we do have at the moment, in the nanomedicines area. So this is going to be, we have some ambitious targets, developing preclinical technology dossiers for 10 nanomedicine drugs. This is over the 5 or 6 years of the network, 5 diagnostics, creating 10 new companies, and creating 100 new jobs. And I think we'll do considerably better than 100 new jobs. Can I have the next sliders? I just want to update people with regard to one of the lead vaccines for the SARS-CoV-2 virus for COVID-19. This is and Bob Langer alluded to this in his talk, but this is a lipid nanoparticle-based formulation of mRNA coding for spike protein of the virus. So there's some background noise there that maybe somebody should turn the mic off. This is a some rather remarkable. Can you go to the next slide, Chris? This is just some data that came out quite recently from BioNTech Pfizer, and it's in non-human primates, and just showing a very strong IgG neutralizing antibody response to these lipid nanoparticles that contain mRNA coding for the spike protein. So this is indicating the number of days after vaccination, 30 micrograms or 100 micrograms of RNA, and pointing out that it's pretty long-lived and strong IgG response here. The gray panel on the far right indicates the IgG levels that are present in the blood of people that have been infected with COVID-19 and have recovered, and so considerably stronger immune response than for those people that have actually had the virus itself. The next slide. So this is then challenging those non-human primates with the SARS-CoV-2 virus, so trying to infect them with COVID-19. And the bottom line on this is, by any measure that could be used, there was total protection against the virus in these non-human primates. I should say that the data from non-human primates does correlate very well with, this is from other studies, with what's going to happen in people. And so it looks like a very, very potent vaccine is on the way. This is a vaccine that's been developed in coordination with Execuive Therapeutics here in Vancouver, and really springs out of a long tradition of work in the lipid nanoparticle field. Just the next sliders. So the trials of this vaccine are now pretty advanced. They're enrolling 44,000 patients, which are it's essentially going to be complete by the middle of October. So there's 30,000 patients. Was updated today, already enrolled. The submission to the FDA to approve this vaccine, the Pfizer CEO indicates it's going to go in at the end of October, all being well. They're already manufacturing at risk 100 or 200 million doses for the end of this year, 1.2 billion. They've repurposed 3 factories, 3 manufacturing sites in the US, 1 or 2 in Europe. Many customers are lining up worldwide. And so, as you may be aware, the US has options on 600 million doses, 120 million to Japan, 90 to the UK, 200 doses to Europe, etc. So there are a number of doses which have been acquired or which are reserved for Canada. We don't know how many that actually is. But the bottom line here is that that nanomedicine's lipid nanoparticle technology is having an enormous impact. And this is just really the tip of the iceberg that we're seeing here. There will be many other vaccines. There will be almost all of gene therapy is just about to be opened up by the use of this technology. So it's an enormously exciting time. And I hope everybody on the call or attending this conference realizes that. I'd like to close just by thanking Urs for putting on the Nanomedicine's day again. This has really gone very smoothly, and I think this is an excellent way that for publicizing what it is that we're doing in the nanomedicines area, and for indicating the progress that we've made. So thank you for all your efforts to make this happen.